Also, it'll lower blood pressure, not in everyone, but in some people. So I also think CBD is, or cannabis is very adaptogenic. And one of the side effects of CBD is that it lowers cortisol levels. So cortisol, the stress hormone emitted by your kidneys, your adrenal glands, it tends to just drop that out of the system. And I think that we become habituated to states of being which are induced biochemically, meaning we're either in the fight or flight, we get locked into these patterns in our life, and CBD just tends to slow things down just enough so that you can be in your body to, you'll have a thought and then you'll just notice that you don't have the same reaction to that thought. And so we can talk just a little bit more about that, because what we do is we put decrees on all our bottles. We believe that there's a huge part of the healing process is awareness and consciousness. And in my experience, CBD just tends to slow things down just enough to be able to be in the body to experience those. Then once you have that experience in your body, you can change that thought pattern without it just tends to slow it down just enough so that you can experience it without any reaction to it. And
so I love that. I love the part about the decrees, but you, like, by decree you mean affirmations, right?
Yeah,
I've seen the bottle labels.
Yes.
What do you have on there? I'm just curious.
So we have, like, I love the way I feel, and we always state these in the I am or in a positive first person standpoint, because what we find is that our internal, so for me, one of my big aha moments was my internal dialogue was not kind and loving to myself. But now, so that in a positive statement would be, my internal dialogue is kind and loving to myself. And when you see the thought patterns that you have, it oftentimes people wouldn't treat another person like they treat themselves. And
did we lose you? Uh-oh. Christopher?
physical body health, but also mental health.
We lost you for a few seconds. So if you could just say that last sentence.
Yeah. Yeah. So our
oh.
And but it also, one of the main things I think that it's really doing is it's neuroregenerative. And while the patent for CBD is in is as an antioxidant, neuroprotectant, that's what the U.S. government in 2006, I believe it was, Department of Agriculture filed a patent saying that CBD has beneficial protective components to the neurons, certain parts of the heart, etc. And it's interesting that people are looking at patenting it, and at the same time, it's been illegal since that time. So so now we could talk a little bit about our products. We specialize in whole plant extracts. All our products currently have a very small amount of THC, anywhere from between 0.07% and 0.25 or 0.22. And to be federally legal, they have to be less than 0.3%. And we found is even the smallest amount of THC helps the effect of the hemp. And what it is the Israelis did a study in the late 90s. They called it the entourage effect. So a lot of CBD that's sold out there may be actual CBD, an isolate or a distillate, which is concentrated CBD. But what the studies have said, or at least some of the Israeli studies, is that CBD in and of itself is 10 to 15% as effective as whole plant extracts. So in doing this, this is what I've started to look at to formulate all our products is how do we get as much parts of the plant from the terpenes, the oils or the various cannabidiols, other plant phytocannabinoids, as well as there's plant omega oils, then there's wax components to it. There's a ton of different components. And we harvest all of that to preserve it in our products. So all our products are third-party testified, are tested, pesticide chemical free. And when possible, we choose organic options. We do have one of our farmers who's a biodynamic fellow, which I love it. It's Rudolf Steiner's farming technique. He puts he's in Southern Oregon. He puts 40,000 pounds of rice hulls in his pasture, ferments it, turns it over, puts effective microorganisms on it, and then, tills it into the soil. So that's a little bit about what we're doing. So every strain of hemp, how it's grown biodynamically or other things, even every extraction technique help create a different final end product. We always strive for high terpene profiles in our products because we credit 40% of the benefit from hemp to the terpenes. Nobody's quite sure how they react. They're looking at specific terpenes for depression. They may help mitigate short-term memory loss. They, in my experience, they help balance hormones. And I tell people that they generally clean up your head because they have this effect on your either it's because of the CBD or it's the terpenes that you just end up feeling a little bit clearer. So, and the terpenes are the aromatic or the flavor part of the plant, and they have a sharp taste, like pepperine, or it often tastes like a pepper, or you'll feel it in the back of your throat. And some of ours they're very nice because they're steam distilled. So depending on how they're processed, they may have a lighter flavor to them, like an aromatic or a floral flavor. And so then the other way we differentiate our products is whether they're heated or how much they're heated, or whether they're raw. And what that basically means is that you change certain components, and the raw or the CBDA would be a raw form of it. CBD would be a decarboxylated form of it. The same thing down to different cannabinoids, like CBG has an acidic side. CBG would be considered the decarboxylated form, as well as one of the key ones is THC. Tiny amounts of THC, when heated, are calming, and when they're raw, they have an affinity for serotonin receptors in the brain. They make you happy. They're a little bit more uplifting, and you can feel a little bit of energy from it. And lastly, we basically just use two extraction techniques, either subcritical or supercritical CO2 extraction, which is high pressure CO2, or we use frozen alcohol, and we're in the process of formulating some spagyrics with a biochemist that we know.
Can you say that one? Some what? Spagyric?
Some spagyric tinctures. So in a spagyric tincture, it's a it would be considered a form of alchemy, but it's really just a scientific process of harvesting all the components of the plant. So in typical extraction techniques, they take the raw material, they extract out the oils and capture the terpenes. And the terpenes, being the feminine or the lightest molecules, are very delicate. So they don't survive heat. They need to be captured if you do end up heating it, but they change components. And so you really have to treat the process a certain way to keep in all the terpenes. And spagyrics not only save the terpenes, the oil, but as well, instead of throwing away the plant matter, they burn the plant matter at a very, very high temperature, which creates a potassium and other minerals. You'll catch just tiny trace amounts of minerals. But when done correctly, you can get super bioavailable minerals. And we also subscribe to the fact that healing is voltage in the body, that the body's an electric body. And part of that process is minerals make the enzymes that minerals lead to the enzymes that make the amino acids in our body. And so part of the healing process, if you can get bioavailable minerals, then that can kick off your body to make the rest of the processes and help the healing.
Yeah, and we all know that we're all pretty much mineral deficient because of the over farming of our soils.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So potassium, and there's some other ones that end up when you really, really burn it right. And what we're doing right now is we have one being made. It's probably on its 4th cycle, where they're concentrating it down. So we do it on certain moon cycles, and it's done, monthly, and to concentrate the oil down. And so that one is coming, and it should be quite nice.
Great.
Okay.
Now,
so,
I have to ask, Christopher, I don't know if you're going to mention that in the next slide or two, but where is this beautiful product grown and harvested?
So yeah, we source, that's a good point. We source our products from all over the country and the world even. When we can, we would source it from another country, because the variations in hemp strains differ, right? And so one of our products is sourced from Europe. The biodynamic product is sourced from Southern Oregon. We have an organic product sourced from West Virginia. And then, of course, we have a couple products in Colorado. But my supposition is there's something, Oregon and Northern California have some great climates to grow cannabis.
And legally they can, so.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, all our products are within federal guidelines, and it's all actually considered industrial hemp. We're not dealing with high THC content cannabis.
That would be medical cannabis.
Yes. So let me see something there. Okay. So a couple of the things is CBDA tends to be better for inflammation. That's the raw form of it. So it ends up actually having an affinity for the COX-2 inhibitors, or it acts as a COX-2 inhibitor. It may, CBDA also may have a function with serotonin receptors, and it's notably better for inflammation. So, and it's not that CBD doesn't work for inflammation. It's just that some of the studies say CBDA works better. But what we'll say is all our CBD will work for anything, or we'll find you one that does. So, and then of course there's THC. THC is the psychoactive component in cannabis. When heated, it's psychoactive. When it's raw, it tends to be a little bit more happy, a little bit more about focus, energy. And it also has anti-inflammation properties and is slightly calming. And then we have this on our website. It's a little much to go over right here, but we try to outline the difference between products that are heated or decarboxylated. For example, the products that are decarboxylated tend to be a little bit better for nighttime. So you would take them, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you might take, for example, number 81 or number 15. And also, when it's decarboxylated, it's a little bit better for pain.
This is so cool. I mean, many of us have, you know, we've done some research and we know some stuff. We've attended some lectures on CBD and hemp, but like just knowing that there's such nuances is so intriguing, and we probably don't even know half of it, right? You know, there's probably so many more compounds that
I would love to get, I think that they're researching it pretty heavily in Israel right now. Yeah. And it's pretty quiet. I mean, I think that they publish some of the stuff, but I would bet a lot of it's still very much in the background. We are working on some other products, which I'll share at the end. So this is number 19 is our biodynamic raw product, or as close to raw as we can get. It's high in the CBDA, it's high in the THCA. It's very good for the day. And we dose all our products by milligrams per drop, so that, you know, if you're a practitioner, you know, advocating it, then you can, you know, find the dosage for people. What we find is most people respond to 15 or 30 milligrams. Many, though, people take more. Some people take less, but many people take 40 to 60 to 80 milligrams. We just don't make recommendations in that arena. Right. But number 19, that's our raw product. It's grown by an amazing yogi. Actually, the guy does yoga every morning, and beautiful area Southern Oregon is. So that's that. And then we have a good all-around product is number 23. It's organic. It's from West Virginia. It's an 80-20 mix. So meaning it's 20% decarboxylated and 80% raw. And what that does is it allows it to be a little more calming. It's a little milder tasting. We added mycene, or these steam distilled terpenes, which give it this very light, high flavor. And you always notice the terpenes after you take it. So you'll take the product and then 5 or 10 minutes, or not 5 or 10, but like 3 minutes later, you'll just notice, oh, it has this taste to it.
Yeah, and, I've experienced some interesting flavors, but yeah, most of them are fine. It's the paste that it takes a little bit a little chaser.
Yeah, a little bit to get you. Well, and the paste is just the entire plant extract. Right. We pull off it has the wax, which is, and from some of what I've read, is very beneficial for Parkinson's, MS, and real neurodegenerative conditions you would want more of the fat for. And then sleep and chronic pain. These are our fully decarboxylated products, and even in that, there's slight differences. For example, number 81, the one on the left of the screen as you look at it, that's a cryoethanol distillation method. And distillates have been heated. They extract it with alcohol, then they heat the product to concentrate it down so that there's more CBD. And they typically come out at 80 to 90 some odd percent, high 90s CBD. And there's less other components, even though it is full spectrum. It just ends up having not as many terpenes. Probably the next one we'll add a lot more terpenes to, but and that tends to be really good, very calming, very good at night. And then we have number 15. This is the one that the paste is actually made from, and it's European hemp. it's very, very low CBD hemp that it's 1% hemp. So you get a ton, and you can see how dark it is. You get a ton of the plant matter in that product. And that one of the tastes of it, it has a very heavy terpene taste. It's rich in beta-caryophyllene, and there's other terpenes as well, but that's one of the main ones. And it's 8 milligrams per drop. So usually people do 2 to 4 drops, sometimes more. And we also make emulsified tonics. And these are always rotating just because of I work with a partner on this, and they're emulsified with Vedic herbs. And they vary, the Vedic herbs vary, but they're all water extracted. They're done, they're super clean. There's no hexane, pentane used in the process. And when you emulsify CBD, you break the oil down so that it's very small, and it permeates cell membranes quickly. So you would feel these products in typically 4 to 5 minutes. And one of the side effects of the emulsified stuff is it just drops out CBD, or it just drops out cortisol levels almost instantaneously. So
we all need that, don't we?
Yes, it's yeah. They're quite nice. If you wake up in the middle of the night and 6 to 10 drops of it, you're usually back off to sleep fairly quickly. And so we have a couple of these, and they vary either depending on how much THC they have, or the different herbal combinations that we put.
Gotcha.
And then skincare. We do have skincare products. They're fairly strong. We have 2 salves. We have a muscle rub, an Ultra Sports muscle rub, which has capsaicin in it. It's got a hot, it's got capsaicin, eucalyptus, some camphor, but it'll kind of heat up your muscles. Then we have a sensitive skin repair. It's great for psoriasis. CBD is amazing to put on your skin. We do have CB1 and 2 receptors located on the skin, so the plant fits perfectly into those. It makes your skin feel very soft. Some people say it helps with wrinkles and stuff like that. So, and all our salves, all our skincare products are as organic as we can get them. They contain no petrochemicals, and are formulated by this amazing woman for us. We just got very, very lucky.
Great.
And then we also have lotions, and they're thicker. They're 85% organic, and they come in various flavors or scents. We have a sandalwood, a frankincense, and an unscented one. And they're phenomenal. They really are. They're nice. They absorb really well, and they have quite a bit of CBD. I think that they're either 550 or 1,100 milligrams, and they're between $44 and $54. And then yeah, that's it.
Great.
We
Awesome.
we do edibles and other stuff too, but that's about all we're doing right now.
That's a lot. I love it. I didn't know about the emulsified products, so I like the combination. I mean, for most patients that come to see me, many get put on some sort of calming herbs, and to have the 2 in combo would be, really helpful. So that's good.
It just makes it more bioavailable. Even the turmeric or the barberries or whatever, people are looking for. Right. A little bit of ashwagandha in there as well. I know that's a big one. People like to.
I'm a big user of ashwagandha and turmeric and all of the.
And these do not taste like ashwagandha, because I have yet to taste ashwagandha that tastes good.
It doesn't taste like dirt?
No.
Well, that's good. So awesome. So just let us know again where you're located and how people can find you.
Yeah, so we're located at 505 West Mary Street, and we're on Yelp, we're on Google, and we love to have people come in, stop by, and say hello.
And do you sell wholesale to, if
Yes.
say
Yeah,
some
so
practitioners?
practitioners, we pretty much only sell to people in the healthcare profession. We have a couple other stores that we sell to, but we try to limit it to health professionals. And we do have wholesale pricing, so please contact me. I'd love to work with you. We have, you know, all the necessary components for that.
And then that reminds me, you are trying to do a study in the
That's correct.
healthcare
So we
world.
love, oh, that's great. If I could talk about this.
Yeah.
We would like to do a sleep study with the members of your group and offer 411 milligrams CBD, which is almost a month's supply at 15 milligrams a day, we're going to do it for about 20 or 25 days, and a nominal charge of $14. If you complete the study, we'll give you another bottle. So it's 2 bottles for the price of a fraction of a bottle.
Right.
So, and we expect to be launching that probably, I'd like to do it in the next 2 weeks, maybe.
Okay.
And so
Let us know.
Yeah, we will. Thank you.
Yeah. I remembered about that as well. So, that's really exciting. So you're studying the quality of sleep.
Yeah, we just want to see that how people respond to our CBD. So it's a very simple questionnaire. We were working with a woman who's a pharmacologist at Seton, and we just thought to get some questions and see people who haven't tried it, give them a chance to try it, and you know, just see the real benefits. Because the benefit from CBD comes more from, rather than from just taking it when you're in a either a crisis or you know, you hit your knee or something like that, just a little bit every day tends to move, the body starts to balance itself, and then it typically runs at about a month, and 1 to 4 months is where you see big changes.
That's awesome. I'm excited. Sign me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, so awesome having you on. I don't see any questions from the audience. If anyone has any, you can type it now, or I'll give you a few seconds. And if not, then we'll go on with our days. And I did start recording this about 5 minutes in. I forgot, and then.
Oh, that's really good.
But I'll repost it in the group on our public Facebook page. It'll automatically go there through the Facebook link. And then we now have an AWC LinkedIn page, and we do have an AWC Instagram, but I don't know how to post long videos on it because I'm just not a millennial.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how to do that. Good luck on that.
Yeah.
Super appreciate it, Ashley. Thank you.
Thank you. This was so informative. I love learning about all of this stuff. So,
Great.
All right.
Okay.
Have a great rest of the day and have a good weekend and all the best.
Thank you. See you.
Ciao.
Bye.